The friends, I fell into so many weight loss traps throughout my life, but there were 6 major ones that I really got stuck in that I really wish I knew about before starting my 130-pound weight loss journey, because it would have saved me years of struggle and of causing myself pain and misery. The first one, labeling food. Healthy, unhealthy, bad, good. I did this pretty much my whole life. And all that did was made me feel bad. So like if I ate something that I labeled as unhealthy or bad, I would take that on as I was bad for doing it. And it would trigger my emotional eating, which I also struggled with. And it would end up causing this let all heck break loose, feel bad about it, try to eat only healthy and only good food. And then all heck would break loose and a cycle until I gained, so much weight that I ended up weighing 275 pounds. What I learned, how I had to fix that, was I had to stop looking at food as bad and good, healthy and unhealthy. Yeah, are some foods more nutritious than others? Absolutely. What I had to learn was there was a balance though. There was a time and a place for all food. I had to look at food as food. Choosing mostly the ones that were nutritious, a lot of veg, a lot of fruit, a lot of protein, but also remembering that just because I was craving, chips or a chocolate bar, that didn't make me bad, and I could include that as part of my balanced diet. It wasn't unhealthy to not have a balance that included treats. And once I started doing that, I really let go of the guilt around food because it became food, mostly choosing nutritious and then including treats as part of my balance. That's what really helped me start to work through my emotional eating, not get triggered all the time, and be able to lose the weight and keep it off, because I was eventually able to lose 130 pounds and keep it off for 8 years. And stopping labeling food was a major part of that. I wasn't just like labeling chocolate bars, candy, chips as bad and unhealthy and stuff like that. I was also labeling food the way that the fitness industry says it. So for example, like potatoes. Now, what do people think when they hear about potatoes? Oh, it's a carb, it's a starchy carb. I had to start referring to it like for what it was, a vegetable. Potato is a vegetable. I can include this as a balanced diet, because anytime that I just called it a carb, I would eliminate it from my diet. And again, it would make me feel guilty because I would break down and eat one, and then I would feel bad because I ate a potato, which I labeled as carbs, which aren't bad. You just have to be in a calorie deficit and need a balance to lose the weight. You don't have to take away things that you enjoy. Labeling foods, that was huge for me. Number 2, being too specific on a weight loss goal. So like everywhere I looked when I wanted to lose weight, everywhere, magazines, fitness industry, it all said like, have a specific goal, like a certain amount of time and a certain amount of weight to lose in that time. And I remember like as a teenager, I loved the First and Women's World magazines for the diets. I was using those all of the time. And one of the things I remembered being attracted to all the time, which is why I would buy them, is it would say, lose 12 pounds in 2 weeks, lose 14 pounds in 14 days. And so I started setting those extremely unrealistic goals. I'm gonna lose 14 pounds in 14 days. And if I set out to do the diet, I followed it exactly, and by the end I didn't, it would set me up for failure, because it's so specific. It puts so much pressure on me that it would end up falling apart. Sometimes I would lose. I remember one time I lost 12 pounds in 2 weeks, exactly what the diet said. But what I was following wasn't sustainable. It was too much pressure and it would all fall apart. And then when I had reached my heaviest weight of 275, like I said earlier, I then was like, okay, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds in 6 months. But I didn't realize it took me a long time to gain that weight. I didn't gain it overnight, and I'm not gonna lose it overnight. Slow and steady actually wins the race. When I finally was successful on my journey, I realized, okay, my goal is to lose weight, but I'm not setting a time and I'm not setting a specific amount. I had no idea when I started my journey for the last time that I was gonna lose 130 pounds. I had no numbers in my head because all that did was cause me to fail. So I set out to, lose weight in doing something that I could actually sustain, like portion control and moving my body for 15 minutes every day through walking. My goal was to be consistent with that and see what happened. When I took all the limits off, kind of like when you take your training wheels off the bike and you just let yourself be free and figure it out, that's what happened. There was no pressure. I just let myself go free. It allowed me to find my way and be consistent. Number 3, copying what I seen from bodybuilders, fitness influencers, people in magazines, just looking at, somebody really fit and copying exactly what they did. The problem with that is I would pick somebody that looked really fit, but I would only know what they showed in the magazine or online. I had no idea what they were doing the rest of the time, or like when I started copying bodybuilders' diets, I didn't realize the ones that are competing are taking special vitamins too in order to compete. I'm trying to copy, thinking I'm gonna look like them, not taking what they're taking, and so it would be setting me up for failure. For, example, like I had a cousin that competed in bikini, and when I saw that she won and she looked so good, I tried copying everything she did, but I only seen pieces of her diet. I didn't have the same genetics. I didn't have the same coaching, the same vitamins that she was taking, that kind of thing. So when you see somebody and you're trying to copy them exactly, you don't know. For me, I had emotional eating. I was probably copying people that didn't, or that didn't have a weight problem or gain weight easily like me. And so it was setting me up for failure. What I learned that really worked was I cherry picked from my cousin. I took things that felt like it would work for me and I modified it for my own needs. And I started doing that everywhere, and I still do it now. I see things that work for other people, but then I have to remember what my body's like and apply it for me. Like, I have a really big appetite, my body gains weight very easily, I have PCOS, so I have to take all those things into account and then make it work for me. I always try to say, I'm not a professional, don't copy me. I share what works for me and the success that I've had in case you can cherry pick and modify it for your own needs, but don't even copy me. You have to learn what works for your body, listen to what your body's saying, and go from there. Never copy somebody specifically because they're not you, and you need your own special needs for your own special body. Number 4, thinking fad diets were a magic pill. I weighed 275 pounds at my heaviest, and I struggled with weight my whole life. I was so desperate to find something to help me get that weight off that I latched on to any diets in the magazines, like I was talking about before. Any fad diet, I tried all of them, and I was hoping if I just follow it exactly, that I will wake up one day and the weight will be gone and all my problems will be solved. What I was doing though, what I didn't realize was, yes, a fad diet, it will get you results if you follow it to a T because it's putting you in a calorie deficit. That's the real rule you need to lose weight. I didn't want to look at that, the eating less part, that I didn't need to do something that was unsustainable because all those fad diets they had so many rules, they weren't sustainable, they required me to take away something that I enjoyed, usually carbs and treats, cut out all sugar. That didn't work for me. All it did was make it worse. I'd get a little bit of results, I couldn't sustain it, I would fail, feel bad about failing, and then go back in the cycle again. When I realized I have to find something that's not a fad, something that includes everything I like, that I can do for a long period of time, that's when I really started getting the results and realizing what I was avoiding by thinking that fad diets were a magic pill was I needed to eat less. And I wasn't ready to hear that for a really long time, but I took it so far when I wasn't ready. I thought eating less meant taking away everything when Eating less really means a little bit at a time, whatever you can handle. If it's one less tablespoon of cream in your coffee, or for me, I loved pop. So instead of taking away the pop in the beginning, I switched it for diet. So I wasn't taking away anything, I was just making one small change that I could actually sustain. So it was more about, just a tiny bit at a time, not a whole lot less. And that really helped me carry through and sustain what I was doing. Number 5, thinking that I could out-train a bad diet, that exercise was the be-all, end-all. I was so desperate to lose the weight and I wasn't quite ready to look at that I needed to eat less. I thought if I just found the right exercise program, that I could lose the weight without having to look at my diet. But in reality, diet is key. Exercise is like the cherry on top of a sundae, and I didn't realize that at the time. So I was exercising and I wasn't really fit to be doing the HIIT and the running and the jogging that I was doing at my weight. I was 275 pounds, a size 24. Physically, I really couldn't do very much, and I was just injuring myself trying to out-train my bad diet. When I started to make the switch and focus on my diet first, and I ate, in portions, I ate food that I liked, and I added 15 minutes of walking, which I could actually do at my size. I took a lot of breaks, but I was able to do it. That really helped. And number 6, thinking that if I make a mistake, that I'm bad. I was doing so bad, and then I'm doing good, so I'm good. I was doing so good and I made a mistake, now I'm bad. That kind of thing. Falling into that once you start your weight loss journey, everything's gonna be perfect. It's not. Weight loss is not linear. And I wish I would have known that before. I wish I would have known that you hit plateaus. Like when you start losing weight, you'll get results for a while, but then you have to change things up. You can't just keep doing the same thing. And that really would have saved me a lot. So I really wanted to include that in here. You will hit plateaus. You'll have to look at your diet and tweak things, just slightly, and then you'll move again, and then you'll hit another plateau, and that's normal. And the other thing is, if you make a mistake, you're not bad. You're normal. You're human. You're not good if you're doing good and bad if you're doing bad. You are human and you're learning as you go, and that's normal. You're gonna make mistakes. I made plenty. I still make them. I'm still learning and tweaking my diet, and I share that. As I make a mistake, I'll share it with you guys on this channel. If you make a mistake, what I learned is don't get mad at yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Look at it as, okay, I made a mistake. What can I learn from this? Is there something in my diet that's making me feel deprived or that's not working? Can I change something so that I can actually go forward and be more successful? So that's what I would do. I would look at my diet, look at what I was doing, tweak it if I needed to, and then try again. I try to love myself through it instead of get mad at myself and tell myself I'm bad all the time, because that just makes it worse. So that's it. I hope that this really helps anybody struggling. It really is one step at a time, and cherry pick from everyone. There's so much information out there, the friends, and I know it can be really overwhelming, and I've been there, and I've been so overwhelmed and not known where to start. Listen to yourself. You have an intuition. Trust it. Cherry pick out there what will work for you and modify it to fit your own needs. Hope this helps. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your love and support. Don't forget to check out this vid and this vid, because it offers fun weight loss tips for sustainable weight loss, both vids, and code Nicole to save yourself 10% off my weight loss ebooks and Huddled or HTLT subs. I love you. I'll catch you in the next vid, cuties. Thanks for everything, sweethearts.
See ya.
Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here, heart and mindset. Fight through it.